I'd like to call the July 8th, 2026 meeting of the Ogden Town Board to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd ask you to remain standing for a moment of silent reflection and prayer for military servicemen and women serving around the world, as well as for our first responders. Thank you. We have a really great opportunity to honor someone who is retiring. So I would ask Jim Horick, your family, and also Chief Gray, if you wouldn't mind coming forward. I'll come join you.
Ceremony here, I feel awkward turning my back to the audience, but turning my back to the board, so I'm going to try and speak from the side. The reason we're here today is one of our part-time employees, Jim Horick, recently retired for like the third time, but he's been a pillar of the police department for a long time, but prior to that, also with the town of Ogden. So I'll let the supervisor speak about Jim's time globally here with the town of Ogden, and when the supervisor's done, I'll finish up and just add some comments about his time with OPD, and that's it. So, sir, good. Thank you, sir. Yep.
Well, it's always bittersweet to say goodbye to somebody who's been here for so long, but I want to just address the elephant in the room. I once confused Jim for a former, thank you, new guy, former chief of police. It was one of those very quick glances, and then, oh, shoot, sorry, you're the wrong person. But that should tell you that, hey, maybe you have a fourth career in taking over education at some point. But, you know, Jim, it's one of those things that we didn't have a chance to work hand in hand for these many years. But I would also say that there's a little bit of a testament to the fact that there was never any problems that came across my desk that I had to address. And, you know, that speaks to the work ethic, just working so hard, being here. Chief would say sometimes 5 in the morning just to make sure that the crews are ready for things and changeover. And there's a whole history of you being part of this town that most of us aren't even familiar with. And so I think it's worthy of us reading this. I don't always like to read all these, but there's a lot of good information in here. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd just like to take a second and recognize that. So it says, whereas the town of Ogden takes great pride in recognizing and honoring individuals who demonstrate outstanding dedication, commitment, and service to the community. One such individual is Jim Horick, whose more than 35 years of dedicated service to the town of Ogden reflect a steadfast commitment to supporting town operations and serving the residents of our community. Jim began his career with the town of Ogden in the fall of 1986 as an employee in the Buildings and Grounds Department, where he served for more than 23 years, maintaining town facilities and supporting the daily operations of the town. Following his retirement in November 2009, I think that's retirement 1 so far, Jim continued his commitment to the town by returning in November 2010 as part-time laborer with the Ogden Police Department, where he helped establish and support the department's fleet manager role. After a second retirement in November 2016, Jim once again answered the call to serve, returning in January 2020 as part-time laborer, fleet manager with the Ogden Police Department, where he continued to provide valuable service through June of 2026. Jim's dedication, reliability, strong work ethic, and willingness to serve the town across multiple decades and roles have made a lasting impact in the operations of the town of Ogden, making him the most deserving individual to be recognized and honored. So now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the town board of the town of Ogden hereby expresses its utmost gratitude and appreciation to Jim Horick for his more than 35 years of dedicated service, unwavering commitment, and invaluable contributions to the town of Ogden and the residents of our community. Congratulations, sir.
Supervisor mentioned the gaffe with recognizing Jim as a police chief. My apologies for not recognizing supervisor also mentioned that sometimes coming in at 5 a.m. was part of his job. That was every day, and oftentimes it was earlier. I spent a long time on the overnight shift, and we'd be finishing our tour at 6 a.m., and Jim had already had several hours worth of work in. So it's just one of those jobs that is super appreciated by the guys, and I think also at one point when the new fuel island was installed at Highway here, we had to have a conversation. I had to politely tell Jim to stop fueling up the police cars, because there's no reason that we can't drive 100 yards to get this. So that's just a small, and a lot of guys don't know that conversation happened, but you're welcome. It's just a testament to Jim. You know, he worked for us from 2010 until 2016 after the passing of our previous fleet manager, and then he stepped off for a little while, and then he came back at the beginning of COVID, which was wild times. And then the other thing too that I was reflecting on is, remember when I called after Kathy Campbell stepped aside, and you agreed to do this every day again. So I can't thank you enough, Jim, and you leave very big shoes to fill, and 35 years is beyond impressive to me. So from the bottom of my heart and from everybody from OPD who's here, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you enjoy your retirement, actual retirement now, stop working. And I have a certificate of recognition here, which I don't need to read because the supervisor hit all the high points. So Jim, thank you very much.
And town board wants to come forward, and certainly Doug. Do you guys want to step forward?
Sure.
So boards can get behind.
You guys want to fall in behind? Where would you like? John, it feels weird, but I was thinking before.
Josh, Sal, and Doug, can you all see the moment?
You know, why don't you guys go in the middle, and there you go. Oh, it's his, it's their, it's his, yeah, squeeze in, squeeze in.
All right, we're good. Thank you.
It's your problem now, so. No, I understand.
Thanks for everything. You took very good care of us. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything.
Right, we've done this before, yeah.
It's opening somewhere.
That's all we have planned. We don't have anything.
I feel like I'm all messed up here. Chief, and chief. There's 3 chiefs. Yeah. It's like the fire district. There's always 7 chiefs in the fire district. It's true. All right. Well, thank you for allowing us to carve out some space for that. That's always a very, fun thing to do, and giving recognition to people who deserve it. So with that, we're going to move to approval of the minutes. This would be Resolution 178.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, second by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion on this? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, we have privilege of the floor. This is a time where members of the community can come and share thoughts, concerns with the town board. It's not really a Q&A. It's not really a time where we're necessarily going to respond. It's really our time to listen. So if there's anybody that is wanting to address the board at this time, just come forward, state your name and address, and we're here to listen. So if anybody is looking to do that, now would be the time.
Jason Wall, 18 Sandstone Drive, Spencerport, New York. I've lived at the property for about 25 years. Just recently, Doug and his team is taking care of a problem with a culvert and I don't know what you call them, they're drain basins, whatever. They had to put in for drainage. They went from an 18-inch piping system underneath my property, which is my land, to a 24-inch. This has been taken care of a few times since I've been there. When I first moved in, they dug up the property. I had to take down a fence, and they had to put in waste drainage for the pump station, meaning fecal waste piping. They did that, I don't know what year it was, but I had to put in dirt of my own to grade it off. The next step was, okay, we had to dig it up again, maybe halfway through the property, the time that I've lived there. They dug it up, they didn't have the materials that they needed to do the drainage. They put the dirt back down, and then once again, I was grading, giving Doug Case and his team some trouble with the dirt and how it's graded off. He dumped it like a 10-yard dump truck in my front yard, and I handled it myself and graded it off by hand. I have pictures of the whole property since I've lived there. It's always been a gradual grade off. You can come and visit, look at 18 Sandstone Drive in the front and the back. The back is now a ditch, and when I say a ditch, Doug Case did come and talk to us, me personally, along with Todd, and I wasn't happy. And he said he'd take care of it. They were short on dirt. There's a lot of things. I've been bending over backwards for you guys. I had a fence down for a long period of time. I have a dog up. They more wanted to accommodate with a wooden snow fence. It's great, but we say that when we put the dirt down in for the weekend of Memorial Day weekend, and I was supposed to put my fence up because I had to mark it because I was upset it wasn't marked. And then I look and it's a ditch. And when I say a ditch, I can take a piece of paper and I can bend it. It's a curved concave drainage. So at the time they did that, they used the excavator. I could tell. My background is I'm a supervisor too. I've been around heavy equipment my whole life. I actually worked for this town when I was younger and helped put that piping in when I was younger. We used backhoes. So the newer ones is Doug and his team explained where they use an excavator, which I get. They can grade off and they can use technology, GPS. But when he was there, he showed me the grade. I know what the grade is. It's a 5-foot grade from the back corner to the 11-foot mark where the town is accessible from the past 11 foot to the outside. I own the dirt, so I was trying to explain to Todd and Doug is if you put an 18-inch piping in the ground, right, and you put a 24-inch in its place, that's more volume, that's more space, and he explained to me that it was Doug did spoils. Where's my dirt? So a lot of my dirt is missing. So Doug showed me the overview of the GPS. We all know that GPSs can be within 10 feet. But when he showed me that geometric, I asked, where's the geometric now? I'd like to see that, so to see the difference of where the dirt's missing. There's a lot of dirt that's been missing. They took truckloads out of there. When I did ask him how many truckloads he took out, he couldn't have that answer. Doug couldn't. So I'm not here to be. I'm just upset that if you lived in a property for all those years and your neighbors have been there longer than you, and they know how it's graded off, and you can see it in the pictures from where I had the fence, and now that you can see where if you look at a bend, great. But Doug did try to do his due diligence and he tried to appease me in certain areas, but it was just appeasing me. He did do some dirt work today. They put it in areas on the 11-foot mark where there was divots, but the whole fact is that I have a wet area. So it rained so many times over the course of such and such to such and such now. And when they said Van Putty, I was like, oh, I'm excited. I know what goes in Van Putty grass seed. Automatically, as soon as I look, it's office paper. Well, I deal with office paper. I'm a recycler. So we sell our recycling paper to places like that that spray it. If you come and see my property come from the other side, you'll see that, or in the front side, you will see that the grass isn't really grown. It's not, when it torrential downpour and rained Memorial Day weekend, and it washed it to the outside. And, a lot of guys, you know, Todd and Doug were explaining, oh, the grass is growing because of the shade. I'm not stupid, I took all the sciences, to do what I do as a manager. And, I'm just not happy with it. He did try to fill in the gap, it looks great kinda in the front, but I'm gonna have wet area, and I never had it before. I can show you before pictures and after, where they graded it off, used that machine where they use the GPS and it tamps it down. I can show you in pictures where the water just lays. 72 hours, when you lay down dirt and you peg it, 72 hours of rainfall, that will settle that dirt. It's a proven science fact. And as far as grass seed growing, they said to me that Todd and Doug said that I need to water it. Well, I wasn't gonna waste my water, my own money, when it was raining enough as it is. The grass grew on the edge, on the sides, but right now, I mow a 11-acre field in Brockport that I own. That field looks better than the grass that's in my yard right now. And I've always had dogs. I've never ever put chemicals down. I've always overseeded. So all that sod that was there could have been scraped, piled, and then the so-called spoils could have been taken away that way. I understand he had, I pushed them, but when you start in April and then you mark the ground, and then March, you start in March, and then it doesn't, it's prolonged. And I asked for help, you're gonna do the dirt, when you can do it, okay, 2 or 3 weeks. I understand you're doing the project on Route 31, I get it, but it's not my fault that topsoil wasn't available. It's not my fault that Man Putty's grass seed is horrible. And I was told by Todd that it would be put back to where I had it before the project began. And that's the trust that I instilled in the guys, and I'm really not happy with it. It looks decent in the front, because when you walked out there, you could literally stick it, 4 weeks afterwards, you stuff your foot in, my foot went up to mud, to my ankle. I would really encourage you guys to come look at it. You can see the curvature of the dirt. I think any one of you guys, if you had a gradual slope, when it's just like this, as a paper, and it gradually goes away. I have 2 gutters on this side, they've been that way forever. My neighbors have never complained about water in their yard. It just gradually goes away, dissipates. I've never had to have standing water. I would be, after a rainfall of 1 inch, it didn't matter. I'd be able to come home, mow my lawn. I get up at 3 in the morning, and I'm a recycler, and I'm all day long. I'm here at 7 right now. Work hard. So these guys do work hard, but I really need their help. Put some dirt back in there. I feel that I own that dirt. That's what I paid for, and now it's not there. You would think there'd be more dirt. Thanks for listening.
One
Appreciate
question,
it.
excuse
Yes,
me,
sir.
one question, are you proposing at this point, the fix is simply an additional quantity of dirt, grading and reseeding, or is there something else you're saying underlying that's caused this time and again?
So there's nothing that caused, I have exactly when they started their project till now. He did what I asked him to do. He put some grass seed down, put some hay down on it, because hay holds it in place so it doesn't dissipate. But I'm not happy with the grass grade, what it is. So am I asking, yes, put some more dirt down? Yes, I am. And yes, please reseed that area, and then I'll water it. I'll put my due diligence in. I can't put my fence up until the job's, I'm satisfied with it. And Doug knows, because he knows that we spend an hour and a half, something like that together, along with Todd, and I'm not happy with it. I understand the water problem across the street, they have a ditch, but mine was actually literally the road wide of a ditch in my property from the 11-foot mark out. And if I put that fence up in the back, and you can see the pictures, if you ever want to see them, it's on my phone. You can see where the fence was straight across in the back, and now if I put that fence across there, and it's gonna be straight across, there's gonna be a dip there where my dog can get out. So I used to work for New York State Fencing Company, and I put it in properly, and it's solid, so. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry it took up a lot of your time, but I hope maybe Doug and I can talk, and maybe you can come up with something, because I'm just not happy with it. He stated that wasn't gonna mess with the back end. The way the water runs off now, it's so rapid that it takes away, dirt, and he filled those little canyon grooves. It took it down so far that there's rocks. That's all you see is rocks. It's about this wide, it's like a channel. Instead of letting it dissipate and run off properly, it's fast like this and then a puddle. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate listening to me. Doug, I would be more than welcome to talk to you sometime. Maybe I can call you tomorrow.
Yeah, I left the business card with your wife
Yes,
today.
you did. I
so-
appreciate it.
So you can
I
contact.
appreciate your efforts, but I'm just really not totally happy with the backside and how it is in that middle.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else that wishes to address the board at this time? Seeing none, we will close privilege of the floor and move to reports and remittances, Resolution 179.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, second by Councilman Baker. Any discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next is our town audits for Resolution 180.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Toms and seconded by Councilman Baker. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Number of correspondences from various employees for the board to review, and then we've got reports from town officers. I just wanted to report and probably want to take the board members at some point to take a look at the progress that's being made with our renovation project in the rec center. Really quite remarkable. I mean, it definitely does not look the same at all. And I think that we're right on schedule. Certainly a couple of hiccups. I think they estimated something like 6 inches of concrete in certain places. It was more than a foot. I think we discovered, and thank God everyone was okay. We discovered electric that was in the floor. So a couple of small little changes, work order changes because of the additional work, but so far still within range. We also had a great walkthrough with the county. When I had ran into a former colleague at the county who kind of heads up the ARPA division at the county, I ran into him at the county executive's State of the County address. He probably shouldn't have said this, but he's like, yeah, we might have more money. So I'm like, come on, come to Ogden. We've got plenty. We can spend your money in many ways. But I was grateful that he came out personally to take a look and sort of see some of the things that we're doing and some of the additional costs that kind of came up. And you guys all know this, that half of it, the county's helping, the other half, we've done a really great job at really your direction with some of the savings. So we haven't had to increase taxes, but anytime that we can continue to keep some of that savings where it is, the county has to spend all of this ARPA money by a certain date this year. And so if there's other towns that aren't spending their dollars, we are more than willing to take the burden of spending their ARPA dollars for us and for our seniors. But yeah, it'd be great to have you guys out sometime to check it out. A couple real quick things. Well, we recently had our town employee cookout. It was really great. I love when we have those opportunities for everybody to kind of get together, break bread, just get to know each other a little bit outside of our respective offices. Did have a meeting with Monroe County's Environmental Services just regarding Ogden sewers. Spoke a little bit about that in the pre-meeting. Also had a conversation today with the CEO of RTS. His name's Miguel Velasquez. This fall, they're going to start the process of eliminating all of their on-demand services. And by April next year, all of their on-demand services will be canceled. What he had said to me is that Their on-demand services represent about 1.8% of their ridership, and it is by far the most costly thing that they have. I have reassurances from him that this will not interrupt the brand-new service that we got for the Amazon facility, but it really doesn't affect Ogden, seeing as we don't have a stop anymore, and there's really not many calls for on-demand service, but I was grateful that they wanted to reach out. I think next week they're making that public announcement, but I just want to let you know that. This one maybe takes an additional second, but we had another meeting with Amazon regarding the Rock 5 milling and paving project. So one of the things that I had said at the beginning was if they want to just take the road, they should just take it, because it, no doubt, after 30-plus years of it being in service and less than 1 year of Amazon using it, it's pretty clear that the volume of trucks coming in and out of Paragon Drive is the reason it's destroyed. They take exception to the schedule that Doug put together for us to repave the road, and we've given them months of heads up, and then they said, well, we need 6 weeks, and Doug said, well, I've given you probably 6 months notice. So we got back on the phone with them, and one of the things that we said is, hey, if you really don't like our timeline, then you can pay for all of this to take place. They said something about they're gonna lose almost $1 million a day. And I said, well, that's a lot more expensive than you just paying for the road to be done on your schedule. And they threw out some numbers that were phenomenal. We'll see if they come to fruition, but we may actually get them to help out in one way, shape, or form, which is fantastic, because that's what we were asking for in the first place. So that felt like a win. We'll see what happens. But
With a definitive timeline attached.
they have to make the decision within the next week.
Yeah, that's the hard
That's
part, is
their
they-
timeline.
The funding part of it, on our end is a little difficult, because we don't factor in our labor and stuff, so I gotta put some numbers again. She called again today, so.
Oh, good. Yeah, so the thing
But
is, they need,
Might look at an alternative too, just to.
Yep.
Push it out, because we already pushed this out to like September to try to accommodate them, but like, if we can't get this together, maybe do a temp fix or.
they need 6-week lead times, and we were talking to them about how they'd have to reroute some of their orders. They still would have trucks coming, just with less stuff in them. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But whatever, their operation is enormous, so.
Got a good team over there to work with.
Yeah,
too,
great
that
team on the
others,
ground.
so.
And I think part of it was the team on the ground versus corporate and that communication. So we're obviously working with them, and if they would like to make it easier for them by making it easier on us, I'll spend anybody else's money. That's great, as long as it stays away from taxpayers as best as possible. Our America 250 celebration was phenomenal. I'm not gonna belabor that. Just thank you to everybody that had a hand in that. But really, really, really specifically, Tony Mattia, Andrea Hansen, Christian Barnes, Noel Burley, certainly a lot of other people, but those were really the key players, all the sponsors, all the vendors. It was absolutely incredible. Thank you to everybody who came. I want to mention 2 more quick things. I did post this today. I was waiting to let everybody else know, because I wanted to talk to the mayor, wanted to talk to family members, but we're certainly all very saddened to hear about the passing of Carolyn Ellis Ewell, deputy mayor to the village of Spencerport. We've obviously spent a lot of time with her as it relates to our senior center, and really loved our conversations lately about where the senior center is headed and the programs for seniors, and certainly very, very sad to hear that she had passed. So with that, I do know that after this regular session, we're gonna have a conversation with our assessors on exemptions and coming up on some of the changes for exemptions, and making sure that we're kind of in alignment with what it is that we want to do. This board has been very proactive in our exemptions for seniors, in veterans, first responders, and as they keep changing things, we want to always make sure that we've got a full understanding of what these new exemptions are and how they impact the town in one way, shape, or form. So Okay, that's it for me. Councilman Baker.
Oh, thanks. I just want to, send my appreciation to the board and the supervisor, and especially, all the our employees here at the town for putting on a great America 250 event. I mean, that fireworks show was spectacular. So, it's probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. So, had a lot of positive comments from friends, neighbors, from our fire department. I mean, everybody was really happy to be part of that whole thing. So, appreciate everybody with that. Also, just want to send condolences to Carol Nellis Yule's family and her friends, and she was a really strong advocate for her constituents in the village, and fierce advocate, and but we appreciate that from her, and I enjoyed being a partner in government with her. So it was sad to hear of her passing. And lastly, it's too bad the chief's not here, but I really wanted to give kudos to our police department. You saw in the news recently about the police chase that happened in the city and made its way here in Ogden. And I had a conversation with the chief at the America 250 event, and just really wanted to give my appreciation to him and his officers for being there at the very end when this whole thing concluded, and making sure that it was a peaceful conclusion to the whole thing. But I think it sends a strong message to people outside of our community that we don't tolerate this. You want to bring your tomfoolery into the town of Ogden, we're not going to tolerate it, and it stops here. So kudos to the chief and his officers on that.
Well said. Councilman Gerbino.
First, I'd like to echo what Councilman Baker said about the 250 celebration. It was very well run across the entire spectrum. I'm also going to touch on both the police department and from a different perspective, and our town clerk. Unlawful solicitations in the town, people who are not registered to solicit, it's not taken as a serious problem very often, but when the solicitors have the ability to register, they don't, and they then have their sales staff out, and they're knocking on doors. They're doing it into the early to late evening hours. They're defying the town requirement to have a permit in place, and then they're refusing to identify themselves as they get to the doors, other than, hey, I'm working for this company and I can do this. And the prerequisite to identify yourself with an ID and to carry the permit on you, it stands to protect every one of us from answering our door and having to be, I'll say, accosted. If we've had 20 at our house this year, it's a low number. We called for one based on just how aggressive and how abusive the individual was. And I say that only because I don't want to be calling 911 every 15 minutes. And again, thanks to the town clerk for providing the information and then getting it back over to the police department that this particular company did not have a permit. And ultimately, after multiple contacts over multiple days, the police department then ultimately charged the individual that was soliciting for this company. And those are the only ways that on occasion we can stop what is really a problem. I have people calling my home every day saying, you're on the town board, what can you do about this? And that's the one that hits every spring into summer. So Noel, thank you, and to the chief I would also say thank you.
Yeah, I have no qualms saying it's Fox Pest Control. It's every single year. It's very annoying. They need to stop. These poor guys, though, they ran into, on that same day, the town clerk, a board member, and then me. And I got called the male Karen, and I don't care. But I've never wanted so badly to say to somebody, do you know who I am? Like, I don't know that I've ever actually said that to somebody, and I'm just sitting there laughing in my driveway like, this guy has no idea that I actually know everything he's about to say. So yes, I echo that. And last year, they were out early and we got accused of trying to shut down campaign things because people were getting signatures. And again, people that run for office only pay attention when they're running. We have this happen every single year, and we recognize it's a problem every single year. If people would read the minutes, they would see the town clerk mentions this all the time. So, yes, and the fact that they were aggressive with us makes me furious when I hear that they've been aggressive to, elderly people. So, anyways, Councilman Hinman.
Yeah, well, what I got is just a lot of pride in our town, and it's stuff we've already mentioned, but I'll start with the police chase through our town from RPD. I work with a lot of retired RPD, and that's all they were talking about probably for a week, and how impressed they are with Ogden and how we handle things. And that just made me really proud to hear that. And then on top of that, I'm hearing constantly, especially on the day of our America 250 event, just so many people came in from out of town, so many people that are living elsewhere but came back for the event or whatever we're visiting. Just, it was a great time seeing old friends, and everybody had fun. Everybody was saying what a great event it was. It was just made me so proud to be a part of this town. It was an event that I just think we should all really look back on and just say that that's a really high point in our town. So I just wanted to say kudos, everybody that was involved. It seemed flawless. I know there was some stuff, but it came off flawless, and everybody had a great time. And I can't be more proud of our town. So that's all I got.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Councilman Toms.
Yeah, I just want to add to, separate subject, to thank Town Clerk Noel Burley and Highway Superintendent Doug Cleese for their comprehensive reports on training that they've gone to. It really helps me, I hope it helps the rest of the board understand that when they go to these things, what they learn and what they've been exposed to, and to help us. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's one of those things that the board kind of just approves of these trainings, and I mean, they could be in,
Playing golf.
Yeah, right. But to see the actual things that are coming back here is huge. So thank you for that. Doug Case, Highway Superintendent.
Thank you. On that note, thank you for supporting us to go to training. There's a lot networking and other things that go on with relationships and stuff that comes back to towns and builds working relationships and makes our job easier too for different people to bounce stuff off of. So, just want to acknowledge Cody Brongo that submitted his resignation with 20 plus years in our department. Held a lot of positions over the years. Born and raised and worked in this town, and very dedicated, and wish him the best in his new endeavor with his company and working, and it was sad to see him go, but was very, very dedicated and a hard worker. So crews have been busy with multiple different county jobs, and we're still doing that North Grease job for the fire district down there and different drainage projects. Recently got reached out back from Gates Ambulance and BOCES, some people, stakeholders for the fuel system that we've been waiting to hear back from, and so we can get them hopefully next month paperwork so that we can get them on board and add a few more people to our facilities. So
It was nice that he broke that email down.
Yeah.
I meant to mention that to you today, but
yeah, we've been busy with all
forgot
this
to.
stuff.
Yeah,
so.
but and it didn't
Yeah.
seem like a huge lift.
No, it's not. And
Yeah.
Gates is the same way. We reached out to them. They put us on. They were busy at the time, and then Dan's reached back out after all his medical stuff and getting back on board. So
Yeah, Dan.
we'll loop back in with him and get the paperwork. So that's it.
Great. Noel Burley, Town Clerk.
We've been busy with just a lot of different things, spending a lot of time working on the credit card program with Municity and Deluxe and Sue in the building department. I'm fingers crossed, I feel like they're moving finally, so hopefully that is going well, so people will be able to pay for their permits online. So that's been something that we've been working on for quite a long time. A lot of FOIL stuff, been working with Brian on a lot of different things, keeping busy with that.
geez, here we go.
Don't say that, because it means it snows.
Well, on that note, there is no other unfinished business, so we will move to new business, Madam Clerk.
Resolution 181, authorizing a budget amendment for Town of Ogden contractual services, Amazon reviews and inspections accounts.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, seconded by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 182, authorizing an agreement between the Village of Spenceport and the Town of Ogden for building department inspection services.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 183, authorizing the Town of Ogden to enter into an agreement with the Deluxe for credit card and e-check processing services.
I'll move that.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 184, authorizing the year-end budget appropriation following the completion of the 2025 annual independent audit.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Tom, second by Councilman Baker. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next.
Resolution 185, authorizing the promotion of Stephanie Rufino to the position of Senior Office Clerk 1, effective July 12, 2026.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Gerbino, second by Councilman Hinman. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 186, authorizing the adoption of a new Town of Ogden drug and alcohol testing policy for employees with CDL licenses effective July 10, 2026.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Baker, second by Councilman Toms. Any discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 187, authorizing the hiring of Lindsay Douglas as a part-time, non-competitive Clerk 3 with the Town of Ogden effective July 9th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Hinman, seconded by Councilman Gerbino. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next, please.
Resolution 188, authorizing Ogden Town Supervisor Mike Zale to execute an agreement on behalf of the Town of Ogden with Solera Concepts for the provision of consulting services related to the Ogden Highway Department Snow and Ice Reporting Database.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Councilman Baker, seconded by Councilman Toms. Any discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. I will entertain a motion to go to work session.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Toms.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hinman.
Crossovers.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, folks, we are moving into a work session.